welcome to my video podcast. My name is Molly Greenbaum, and I'm the owner of Stronger Today Physical Therapy. I help older adults become more confident with their mobility so they can continue to have fun during their retirement years. I started this podcast to highlight local community members who are passionate about keeping seniors active, independent members of their homes and community. Today we have our guest, Jonathan Walters from Mission Health and Home. Welcome, Jonathan, and thank you for taking the time to meet with us today.
Yeah. Hey, Molly. Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Jonathan, let's dive right in. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how Mission Health and Home started?
Yeah, sure. So my professional background, I have about 25 years experience dealing with pretty wide variety of medical equipment and technology. That's the industry that I've spent most of my life in, and dealing with people with all levels of abilities, all ages. And but most of that time has really been on in the home environment and dealing with insurance and the products and services specifically that insurance would provide to anyone looking to live and kind of adapt their life in the home setting. But we've kind of broken away from that in this season of my life. We actually started Mission Health and Home in 2008. And at that time, we were focused really just specifically on the health side. So our work around that is really focused on long-term care and hospice. And then in 2016, we launched the home side and have kind of pulled those two markets together. So we do a lot of work, again, with facilities throughout the region on the health side, and then on the home side, specifically with those individuals who are really looking to get back home and live as independently and safely as possible.
Excellent. It sounds like we have some similar goals in keeping our elders safe at home.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what types of medical equipment and services that you provide?
Sure. Yeah. So our health team, again, specifically focusing in skilled nursing and hospice, our goal there is really providing specialty beds, therapy mattresses, and advanced wound care. That's a space that elders struggle with. Really, anyone who is, lacks the ability to maybe get out of bed over a period of time. And so we want to make sure that their skin integrity is well managed and taken care of. And that's how we do that, is through those types of products and services and partnering with clinicians in those care environments. And then on the home side, most of our work really centers around removing barriers. So installing lifts, ramps, doing ADA remodeling and home modifications. That's our primary work. We also do patient lift systems, walk-in tubs, any kind of safety rails or grab bars, as well as even smart tech setup and integration. Again, really anything to make your environment safe and functional based on your individual needs.
Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about the team you have at Mission Health and Home?
Yeah. So we, of course, love to say that really it's our people that make all the difference. And, one of the phrases that we say a lot internally is that we're local people helping local people. So we live here in Rochester. Our community is important to us. People make up that community. So we want to hire people that have that mindset and really have a heart for serving others. In fact, that's one of our core values is really others first. And that's really important to us, is that kind of permeates everything that we do with not only just our interactions with our own team, but really our interactions with our community, our interaction with our customers, our interaction with clinicians, with caregivers, whoever it is. Our team is really focused on living out our core purpose, which is giving the others the opportunity for a better life. And that could be something as simple as installing a grab bar. It could be something as involved in adding an addition for mom to move into the house, as she decides to age in place. But it's really anything that we can do to give others the opportunity for a better life. I would say the other thing about our team is that certification and education are really important to us. So we ask all members of our team to pursue kind of an education or certification that's both meaningful to them and meaningful to their work. So we have people on our team that are certified aging in place specialists. We have people on our team who have a national credential called an environmental access consultant. And we also have people on our team who are assistive technology professionals who are really looking at life through the lens of technology and how that specifically can help them do the things that they want to do.
I'm sure for many of your clients and their caregivers, can be a stressful situation for them. So I think that your team and their extra background and education can really help to guide their decisions. And I'm sure they're really appreciative of it. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about how people would engage with your service?
Yeah, so kind of our focus really falls in three areas. We call it discover, design, and deliver. And people connect with us either through word of mouth, referral, maybe just calling us. Maybe they hear a commercial on the radio, maybe they see a Facebook ad, maybe they jump on Home Advisor, and there we are. They're usually just kind of looking for something. They know they maybe have a need, but they're not sure what the solution is. And so when we engage with them initially in that discover process, it's really just starting with a conversation and an assessment, kind of identifying what's important to them, what are the barriers or the obstacles that they're trying to overcome, and kind of working through a process with them to evaluate their current situation and where they want to be, and making sure that there's a clear path to get there. So that's really what we would call our discover portion. And then design is when we put together a plan based on all that information that they share with us. And it may also involve information from family members, caregivers, clinicians, physical therapists such as yourself, Molly, that kind of speak into that process and say, well, based on what we understand clinically, especially if maybe it's a progressive diagnosis, here are some key things that we should be thinking about in that design. And in that design process, we'll map that out, make our recommendations, and typically also offer a proposal or an estimate just so that they can have an idea of what that may look like for them, and from a pricing standpoint and from a budgeting standpoint. And then the final phase of discover, design, and deliver is that delivery phase, or where we implement the plan that we've designed with them. We take action on that. Maybe again something as simple as an installation of a product, or it may be redesigning their space, maybe bringing in other individuals that have other specialties to kind of help them really achieve the goals that they have in the environment that they're living in. So really kind of just helping them walk through that discover, design, deliver process gives them not only an education and understanding, but a confidence that they'll be able to achieve what they want to be able to achieve.
Excellent. Thank you for explaining that a little bit more. Can you tell us one of your favorite projects that you've had working?
Yeah, it's hard to pick one. So I think really any time that we're able to create a space that helps someone do something that maybe wasn't possible before. So I have three quick ones instead of just one. So
Okay.
we recently completed a remodel. We have a young child. He was about 10 years old that utilizes a wheelchair in the home. He was crawling up and down the stairs to go to sleep bed at night and use the bathroom. And so we were able to work with the family and redesign their laundry space. What I love about this project was it was universal. So it's not just a space for one person, but really using the principles of universal design so that he now has an accessible sink, toilet, and shower, but the family still has access to that space as well as utilizing that for laundry. So kind of an environment that everyone can use, which I think is really exciting. We also had a gentleman who was getting ready to transition out of living with his parents, wanted to live on his own, and so was able to he was having a carriage house remodeled that was going to be his living environment. But it was 2 levels. And as a wheelchair user, obviously that was not going to be possible for him. So installing a vertical platform lift, so he would have access to the entire space. So he could have family or friends come over, they could stay upstairs, but he would still be able to access that space as well. And then finally, we live in the Finger Lakes, right? And if you're familiar with the Finger Lakes, it can sometimes be pretty tricky to get from the cottage to the water. And
Yeah.
so for someone with any kind of limited mobility, that challenge becomes even greater. So last summer, we did what I think is just an incredible project, building a custom ramp to go from the house all the way to the dock. So someone in a wheelchair would continue to be able to spend time with family, spend time with grandkids, but also spend the summer at the cottage that they've been coming to for years of their life. So again, really anytime we're able to help someone do something they didn't think they could do, that's a win for us.
Excellent. I love how you also briefly mentioned the concept of universal design about making a space that's not only beneficial to your client, but is also a space that others can live in as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
All right. What is one piece of advice that you would want to give to potential customers?
Yeah, I think there's a saying, something like the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time is now. So, the short answer, I guess, is you'll probably never be too prepared to make your space what you need it to be for the future. And I think that most of our customers wait longer than they should, right? We think, how do we really want to invest this money? Do we really want to make these changes? And a lot of the customers we work with wish that they had started earlier. So I think if there was one piece of advice, I would say start sooner than you think you need to. You won't be disappointed.
Yes, as a physical therapist that has worked in short-term rehab with discharge planning, I definitely see lots of families scramble to
Yeah.
kind of make this house safe at home. And I'm sure many of them are wishing that they made some plans and took action sooner.
Yeah, it's really moving from that reactive to proactive mindset. But that's probably one of the things we run across a lot is people just waiting until it's a need, and then and there's a level of urgency, which frankly just makes it less enjoyable. So,
Hmm.
so starting sooner, planning, really making sure that you think through, and we're seeing more of that now as more people age and just become aware of aging in place concepts and design opportunities, that they are making better decisions and being more thoughtful and really creating a living environment that not only is safe for them, but they actually like.
Excellent. Well, hopefully that trend continues. All right, let's move on to a couple of fun questions to help our listeners get to know a little bit more about you. All right, first, what is something that you have always wanted to learn how to do but haven't learned yet?
Yeah. I I tried to answer this one fun when I was thinking about it, and I only came up with serious answers. So I'll give one quick fun one. There's a there's a business locally called Rochester Arc and Flame
Oh,
uh, that teaches you how to weld, and that is a skill I don't have. It's really interesting to me. And so they're not far away. I actually have my wife got me a gift certificate to take a class there. So I'm
okay.
excited just to kind of learn the basics of welding. I have no idea how I will apply that or if I will apply that, but it's something totally different that I've never done before. So
Excellent. All right, my next question is what is your second favorite color?
well, it would have to be green or blue, just like our logo, but I can never decide which one is my favorite and which one is my second favorite. So it would have to be one of those two.
I always make the joke that lots of people can know your first favorite color, but not everyone would know your second favorite color.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, if you had to entertain a famous person for a day, where would you take them in Rochester?
Yeah. So Rochester has a pretty deep and diverse history, as well as great outdoor locations. So as I'm
Mhm.
thinking, like, what would a day look like? I'd probably do something that kind of both values the past and spends time outdoors. So things like the Eastman House, Susan B. Anthony House, Mount Hope Cemetery, and then maybe some interesting spots like Cobbs Hill Park, the Erie Canal Trail, Genesee Lighthouse, and then I would end my Rochester tour with dinner at the Genesee Brewery on St. Paul. It sounds like a pretty good day to me.
Sounds like a perfect ending.
Yeah,
All right, so Jonathan, before we wrap up, can you tell your listeners what is the best way to get in touch with you?
sure. Yeah, you can call or text our main number at 585-203-9200 anytime. Obviously, you can visit our website. We have a chat bot there that you can communicate with, or you can simply fill out a contact form and we'll follow up with you. Or, of course, we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can message us through any of those. Failing that, if you're searching on Angie List or Home Advisor for a ramp or a lift or ADA modification, we're going to come up and you can always reach us there as well.
All right, I will make sure to put your phone number and links below when I post this. All right, Jonathan, thank you for taking the time with talking to us today and telling us a little bit about yourself and Mission Health and Home and keep up the great work in the community.
All right. Thanks so much, Molly.